My child, I have seen the weight you've carried, the invisible burdens, the silent questions, the moments you smiled while quietly breaking on the inside. I have watched as doubt made a home in your heart, building walls around your confidence, whispering lies into your quiet moments, telling you that you missed your chance, that you're behind, that you're not enough. But I speak now with the full authority of heaven. I'm lifting you above every doubt. Not some doubts, not only the ones others placed on you. I am lifting you above every single voice, external and internal, that told you you wouldn't make it. You've spent nights wrestling with your worth, measuring your value through their silence, wondering if your pace disqualified you from my promise. But child, hear me clearly. I do not pace nervously in heaven. I am not unsure. I have never once looked away from you, never once questioned your process, never once considered someone else more worthy. While others moved on, while rooms closed, while voices faded, I stood guard over your purpose. I was never late. I was preparing you slowly, carefully, deeply. You thought you were behind, but I was building a foundation. You thought you were forgotten, but I was forming a vessel that could carry my glory. You've been hidden, but not buried. You've been silent, but not silenced. The reason it felt so long, so still, so uncertain, is because I was stretching your roots so deep that no storm could uproot what I'm about to grow through you. And now I speak with urgency. Heaven is shifting. Angels are already moving. The scrolls with your name on them are open. Assignments have been released. Your name is being whispered in rooms you didn't even know existed. I am lifting you above every doubt that once held you down. The doubt that came from childhood, when you first believed you weren't good enough. The doubt that came from rejection, from failure, from betrayal, from the long silence when you prayed and heard nothing but your own breath. That breath, do you know what it means? It means you're still here, still standing, still mine. And because you did not give up in the waiting, I will not delay in the revealing. You will no longer be identified by your wounds, but by your worship. You will not be seen as the one who was almost chosen, but as the one I preserved for this very moment. I'm not just lifting your name. I'm lifting your sight. I'm raising your perspective. No more looking at yourself through the lens of doubt. I am showing you what I've always seen. A fighter, a vessel, a son, a daughter, a messenger who carries my spirit, my fire, and my oil. Yes, you carry oil. Not the kind that evaporates under pressure, but the kind that's been pressed through pain and persistence. You cried, and you stayed. You bled, and you believed. You were overlooked, and yet you overcame. You didn't chase stages, you chased me. You didn't manipulate your way into platforms. You submitted your heart in private. And because of that, I am lifting you in public, not to impress, but to impact. Not for applause, but for authority. This will not be a trickle. It will be a wave. The kind of favor that cannot be explained because it is not earned. It is appointed. The same people who asked, "Where have you been?" will soon ask, "How did this happen?" And your only answer will be, "God lifted me because I did." Not after you proved to yourself, but because you surrendered yourself. You knelt when you could have pushed. You forgave when bitterness tried to plant itself in your heart. You encouraged others even when your own soul was exhausted. You've been faithful in obscurity, and now I can trust you with visibility. You've been purified in the fire, and now I can place you in the light. And know this light won't expose your flaws. It will reveal my fingerprints. I have marked you. I have called you. I have covered you. And now I am crowning you, not with ego, but with evidence. Evidence of endurance. Evidence of obedience. Evidence of grace. You will walk into rooms, and the atmosphere will shift. Not because you try to make it shift, but because you carry my presence. Doors will open without force. Conversations will change without explanation. Opportunities will arise that don't make sense in the natural. Because I'm not moving according to man's logic. I'm moving according to my divine alignment. I am lifting you above every doubt, and no opinion, no timeline, no mistake will cancel what I've declared. This is not a reward for perfection. This is a release for persistence. The time you thought was wasted, I will redeem it in one season. The people who said you weren't ready, they will witness what I always saw. This isn't just elevation, it's validation. Not because you need it to feel worthy, but because I want the world to know. I vindicate those who stay faithful. You don't need to announce yourself. The oil will speak. The fruit will testify. The peace will confirm. And now, as heaven aligns with earth, I speak once again over your life. I am lifting you above every doubt. Let every lie fall. Let every shadow break. Let every old label be burned in the fire of my truth. You are rising not in fear, but in fire, not by performance, but by presence. I'm lifting you because you're ready. I'm lifting you because you said yes. And this time, the world won't be able to deny what I've declared. So stand tall, drop the weight of shame, take a deep breath, and walk forward. Not to be seen, but to shine. Because, child, your light is not just coming. It is here. My child, I am not finished speaking, and I am not done lifting. You've been walking with quiet strength through the fires of delay, rejection, and silence, yet still believing, still trusting, still holding on to every whisper I planted in your spirit when no one else believed you heard me. You've questioned your own ears, your own heart, your own calling, not because you lacked faith, but because the weight of unfulfilled promise pressed down like a shadow over your soul. But I tell you now, with all of heaven leaning in to confirm it, I am lifting you above every doubt that has entangled your journey and every lie that tried to rewrite your destiny. This is not just a comforting word. This is a divine reset, a reversal of the verdicts placed on you by fear, by people, by timelines, and by experiences that were never designed to define you. I am undoing what shame tried to cement. I am pulling you out of mental patterns that made you feel like you always had something to prove, someone to convince, some wound to hide. I see it. The silent pressure, the invisible measuring stick you've held up against others, the way you've thought, if only I was more like them. Maybe the doors would have opened by now. But hear me. I never asked you to perform, only to trust. I never needed you to prove your worth. I formed it myself. And now I am restoring your confidence, not with hype, but with holy clarity. I am lifting your eyes above the fog, above the noise, above the patterns of delay that once made you think I was distant. You didn't miss anything, my child. I was never late. I was building something deeper in you than applause could ever reach. You cried over slow seasons, but I called them sacred. You wept over closed doors, but I called them covered spaces. You begged for exposure, but I offered refinement. And now that the pressing has produced oil, now that the pruning has birthed purity, now that the weeping has swans surrender into the soil of your heart, I am lifting you into the very moment you thought had passed you by. And no, you will not enter this place as the same version of yourself who once begged to belong. You're not arriving as the one who had to chase rooms to feel relevant. You're walking in as the one I built in the dark. The one I called radiant when you still felt raw. The one I called equipped when you still felt empty. You are not fragile anymore. You are formed. You're not floating through favor. You are grounded in me. This season won't crush you. It will confirm you. This increase won't break you. It will bless you. And when the invitations come, when the voices return that once dismissed you, when the very spaces that said, not yet, begin to shift and say, we see you now, you won't need to over-explain or defend your process. You'll simply stand, not in arrogance, but in anointing. You'll carry peace like a passport and wisdom like a sword. You'll walk through open doors without wondering if you deserve them. Because I, the Lord, have declared that you do, not based on your performance, but based on my promise. You stayed faithful when faith didn't feel rewarding. You said yes when the spotlight was dim, when the silence was loud, when your heart was tired and your hands were empty. And I counted every single yes. I saw every sacrifice, every secret act of obedience, every moment you gave, forgave, released, surrendered, and believed again. And now I am rewarding you, not because you worked for it, but because you waited with me in the shadows. This is your unveiling, but not to the crowd. This unveiling is to your own heart. I am showing you who you've truly become. The one who is no longer afraid of being misunderstood. The one who no longer shapes themselves to be accepted. The one who no longer apologizes for how deeply they carry my spirit. And when the doubt rises again, when old voices try to echo back into your mind, I will remind you of this moment. That I, the God of heaven, spoke your name with honor. That I elevated you above fear, above rejection, above timelines, above comparison. That I placed you in a seat no man could reserve, no platform could earn, and no critic could take away. I've assigned you to territory, not for attention, but for transformation. Your life is not just being lifted, it's being commissioned. I've breathed on your voice. I've expanded your reach. I've cleared the path. And this time, you will not shrink. You will not stutter. You will not sabotage what I've secured, because I'm not just lifting you. I'm lifting your mindset. I'm breaking every inner ceiling that told you this was too much, that told you success belonged to others, that whispered you weren't qualified. You are more than qualified. You're called, you're covered, you're confirmed. So rise not in reaction, but in revelation. Rise not in self-promotion, but in spirit-filled power. Rise not to be celebrated, but to carry weight, and yes, the weight will come. The responsibility will come. The demand will rise, but so will your grace, your stamina, your strategy, your peace, because I'm not lifting you and leaving you. I'm lifting you and going before you. Spirit will hover over every room you enter my favor, will guard every step you take. My fire will be upon your words, and my presence will make even your silence speak volumes. This is not a test run. This is not a preview. This is the fulfillment of everything I whispered in the stillness. I am lifting you above every doubt, and I will not let you fall. My child, can you feel it now? The shift in the atmosphere around your life. The gentle stir in your spirit that tells you something has broken in the unseen. That something new has been unlocked, not by your strength, but by my spirit. This is not your imagination. It is alignment. The places that once felt locked are beginning to soften. The doors you walked past without acknowledgement are now sensing your presence before you even arrive. The voices that once spoke against you have gone silent, not because you shouted back, but because I have silenced them myself. I am lifting you above every doubt, every internal war, every question that is echoed in your soul. You've looked in the mirror and wrestled with identity. You've asked, "No, God, am I really the one? Am I really chosen for something more?" And I have answered you before you even asked. I chose you not because of how loud you are or how impressive your qualifications may seem, but because I saw your heart long before you saw your harvest. You have doubted yourself, not out of pride, but out of pain. Not because you're arrogant, but because you've been broken before and don't want to hope too high again. But I say to you now, I'm lifting you so that you will no longer be ruled by the voice of past disappointment. That chapter is closed. That version of you is healed. You are not walking into this next season carrying the weight of former shame or old accusations. I have stripped them from you. You are not walking into new rooms as a question mark. You are walking in as a confirmation. You are the evidence of what I can do with someone who says yes, even when they're unsure, even when they're overlooked, even when they're exhausted, but still show up. You've carried dreams that others dismissed. You've spoken truth in rooms that preferred comfort over conviction. You've watered vision in seasons where nothing seemed to grow. But I was watching all along, and every quiet act of obedience has been recorded. I don't forget seeds. I don't waste tears. I don't overlook the hidden ones. In fact, I specialize in lifting those the world never saw coming. And you, my child, are one of them. You don't need to explain your arrival. I will be your introduction. You don't need to validate your calling. I will be your confirmation. And the people who once walked past you will now wonder how you carry such peace, such clarity, such authority, not realizing it was forged in the fire while they looked away. Let me speak to that fire, the one you thought would consume you, the one that tested your identity, pressed on your weaknesses, pulled up every hidden insecurity, and made you question everything. That fire was not sent to break you. It was sent to build you. It purified your motives. It rewired your rhythms. It taught you how to hear me in ways the mountaintop never could. You didn't just survive it. You were sanctified in it. And now you come out with more than endurance. You come out with oil, the oil of endurance, the oil of discernment, the oil of wisdom, that doesn't perform but flows. This oil will rest on you in ways that words cannot explain. It will go before you. It will speak for you. It will draw those who are hungry for truth. And it will confuse those who only want performance. But you, my child, are not called to perform. You are called to carry. Carry glory. Carry peace. Carry presence. And you will carry it quietly at times, powerfully at others, but always with grace. I have not brought you this far to leave you anxious. I have not lifted you to let you fall. I have lifted you because you finally know who you are in me. Not because of the applause, not because of the position, not because of the platform, but because of the process. The process that taught you how to rest in me when nothing around you made sense. The process that carved humility into your tone and power, into your stillness. The process that made you dangerous to the kingdom of darkness without needing to be loud. So don't question this lifting. Don't shrink when the doors swing open. Don't tremble when the invitations come. I have gone ahead of you. I have prepared rooms, not just to display you, but to deploy you. You are an arrow in my hand, and I am aiming you with precision. This next season won't be random. It will be targeted. You'll find yourself in places you didn't apply for, having conversations you didn't initiate, surrounded by favor you didn't orchestrate. But it will all feel familiar because your spirit has been here before, in prayer, in surrender, in silence. And now the natural is catching up to the supernatural. You'll walk into rooms and sense, this is what I prayed for. Not with pride, but with peace. Because I'm not just giving you influence. I'm giving you insight. I'm not just blessing you with exposure. I'm trusting you with impact. You will not be moved by flattery or flustered by pressure. You'll walk in knowing, I've been prepared for this. I was born for this. I was built in silence for this. And when others wonder how you move with such grace, you will know this is not self-confidence. This is God confidence. This is what it looks like when someone lets me be their defender, their deliverer, their daily bread. So rise, my child, not as a brand, but as a burning one, not as a celebrity, but as a sent one, not to entertain, but to enlighten. I'm lifting you above every doubt that lingered in your mind, every voice that made you second-guess your worth, every delay that made you question my promise. I'm silencing those voices with victory. I'm washing those doubts with destiny. And the next time they see you, they'll see not a survivor, but a steward of glory. You don't have to look back. You don't have to explain where you've been. Let the oil speak. Let the fruit testify. Let my spirit do what your striving never could. You are rising. You are ready. And I, your God, am lifting you above every doubt, my child. Now that I have lifted you in the Spirit, now that I have raised your perspective, now that I have stripped the labels of doubt and clothed you in the confidence of my promise, I need you to walk in what I have declared. No longer as the one who waits to be seen, but as the one I have sent. You are not simply rising. You are reigning. You are not stepping forward with hesitation, but with holy conviction. Because everything I have spoken over your life is now in motion. The lifting was never just about platforms. It was about posture. I taught you how to kneel before you could stand. I showed you how to wait before you could lead. I brought you low so I could lift you high without the weight of pride dragging you down. And now, I'm not only opening doors, I'm establishing dominion. I'm giving you territory, not for control, but for transformation. You've been faithful in the background. Now you will be fruitful in the foreground. You've prayed from behind the curtain. Now I'm drawing it back, not for performance, but for purpose. You are not rising into noise. You're rising into clarity. You will no longer shrink in rooms that carry your name. You will no longer question whether you belong where I have placed you. I have endorsed you with my glory. I have confirmed you with my fire. The doubt they placed on you was a seed I've now used to bear fruit in front of their eyes. But this is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving me right. I chose you. I called you. I covered you. And now, I'm commissioning you. You will speak with authority, not from information, but from intimacy. Your story carries weight, not because of what happened to you, but because of who carried you through. I am your covering, your calling, your clarity. You are not the mistake, the misfit, or the one who missed it. You are my messenger. You are my evidence. And I'm using your voice to break cycles. I'm using your life to shake atmospheres. You don't need to announce what I'm doing. Your peace will do it. Your fruit will speak louder than your explanations ever could. Let me remind you once more. You are not late. You are right on time. You are not less than. You are chosen. You are not barely hanging on. You are about to overflow. And even now, I am still lifting you above the fear, above the pressure, above the false expectations, above every voice that once told you that you didn't belong. I am lifting you above every doubt because doubt is no match for destiny. I am releasing new strength, new connections, new strategies. I'm not recycling your past. I'm rewriting your legacy. So go forward with power. Go forward with humility. Go forward with fire. You are not just the one who waited. You are the one who has been confirmed. And now, my child, before you take the next step into the fullness of what I've prepared, I ask you to mark this moment, not for me, but for you. Let this be the day heaven and earth align around your obedience. Let this be the moment you agree with what I've declared. Don't let this word pass by like a fleeting feeling. Declare it. Seal it. Say it with boldness. If you know this word was for you, type it now. Just one word. Lifted. Type it in faith. Type it as a sign that every chain of hesitation has broken. Lifted means you agree with me. Lifted means you refuse to bow to fear. Lifted means you're ready to carry what I placed in you long ago. And don't keep it to yourself. Someone else is still where you were. Share this now. Be the confirmation they've been praying for. You are not rising alone. You are rising with generations tied to your obedience. Your comment, your share, your agreement. These are not social actions. They are spiritual alignment. Lifted is your word. Lifted is your witness. Heaven has seen your tears, but now earth will witness your rise. And when the noise comes again, when the pressure returns, when doubt tries to whisper once more, come back to this word. Listen again. Cry if you must. Shout if you need to. But whatever you do, don't forget what I spoke over you. I'm lifting you above every doubt, and no one, nothing can bring you down. Amen.